He slammed on the brakes in the middle of the road and forced his rookie partner to smoke marijuana. He even threatened that if Jake refused, he could forget about joining the narcotics unit and go back to being a traffic cop. Jake thought about his wife and kids at home. The whole reason he applied to narcotics was for the promotion and better pay. He couldn't afford to get kicked out on day one. After thinking it over, he finally gave in and took a hard hit from the pipe. He thought that would be enough to satisfy him, but Alonzo wasn't buying it.
Go ahead, dog. You didn't even get it. Get it good. Yo, get the fuck up and just wait.
Out of options, Jake forced himself to take several more hits before Alonzo finally smiled and drove away from the intersection. On the road, Jake realized this wasn't the same weed he smoked back in high school. His vision started warping, and hallucinations kicked in almost immediately. Alonzo casually explained that it was a new designer drug, way stronger than normal marijuana. Before the shift ended, the department would run urine tests, and there was no way Jake's drug use wouldn't be discovered. Jake instantly exploded in anger, unable to understand why his own boss was setting him up. Still dazed, he glanced out the window and suddenly spotted a young girl being assaulted in an alley.
Stop the car, man. Stop the car. Stop the car.
Jake jumped out of the car, forced himself to focus, drew his gun, and rushed straight into the alley. But what he didn't expect was that one of the gang members was hiding behind a dumpster, and the three of them immediately got into a brutal fight. Since it wasn't technically in their jurisdiction, Alonzo leaned against the wall smoking, treating the whole thing like a test of his rookie partner's skills. Jake's head was still spinning from the drugs, but thanks to his police academy combat training, he eventually managed to subdue both thugs. Only after the situation was under control did Alonzo slowly walk into the alley and comfort the terrified young woman. Unexpectedly, the girl was tough too. She got up and started threatening the gang members herself.
My cousins are from Hillside Stairs and they're gonna blast you, fool!
After venting her anger, she stormed off while cursing the entire time, leaving Jake completely confused. Normally, she should have been taken in to give a statement, but Alonzo didn't care at all. He simply grabbed the cash off the gang members before walking out of the alley. Jake had no choice but to follow. The two thugs only got more arrogant, kneeling there and screaming insults nonstop. Jake turned around to shut them up, but suddenly spotted the girl's wallet on the ground. What Jake never could have imagined was that this tiny, unimportant wallet would later save his life. Not long after, Alonzo received a tip about a drug dealer's stash house that supposedly held a huge amount of narcotics. Without hesitation, the two drove straight there. Once inside, they split up. Jake restrained the suspect while Alonzo searched for evidence. But Jake quickly noticed something strange. Alonzo secretly stuffed some of the seized items into his own pocket, then came back pretending he found nothing. Before leaving, he even shoved a newspaper into the woman's hands and called it a search warrant. Of course, the woman wasn't the type to back down either. The second she realized her house had been robbed, she ran outside screaming curses at both of them.
Big Jackie! Bitch, you better give me my fucking money back, motherfucker! You ain't no police!
Her yelling quickly attracted nearby gang members, who immediately started firing at them. Alonzo didn't hesitate either. He pulled his gun and faced them head on, but there were simply too many gangsters, forcing the two officers to flee the area. Back on the road, Jake finally stopped holding back. He accused Alonzo of abusing his authority, stealing from suspects, and starting gunfights in residential neighborhoods. The department was already cracking down on corruption, and if any of this came out, Alonzo would absolutely lose his badge. Hearing this, Alonzo grew impatient and abruptly pulled the car onto the shoulder of the highway. He told Jake that if he didn't like it, he could go back to the precinct and return to being a regular patrol officer. Jake stood there for a long time, thinking it over before finally swallowing his pride and getting back into the car. Soon after, Alonzo drove back to his neighborhood, an area filled with gang members. On the surface, they all treated him respectfully, but behind his back, resentment was everywhere.
Man, I'm sick of this shit, man. Can't stand it, motherfucker.
At home was Alonzo's fourth wife, who warmly welcomed Jake. That kindness eased some of the frustration he'd been holding in all day. That afternoon, the two arrived at the police station. Alonzo told Jake to wait outside while he went to meet with his superiors. But the meeting wasn't really about department business. He was actually there asking for permission. During the conversation, it was revealed that the week before, in Las Vegas, Alonzo accidentally killed a gambler who turned out to be connected to the mafia. Now the mob had given him until midnight to come up with $3 million, or they'd send people to wipe him out. Alonzo argued that he'd spent years protecting his informants, so now that he needed money, asking them for help was only fair. After getting approval from the higher-ups, Alonzo secretly tossed the cash stolen from the gang members into the trunk as hush money for the next operation. Then he immediately started calling in a team. They arrived quickly, but But seeing a rookie like Jake involved meant the payout would have to be split one more way, and none of them looked happy about it. Soon, the 6-man squad geared up and stormed into a house through the back entrance. The moment Jake stepped inside, he froze. The homeowner was Roger, the same man they'd visited earlier that morning. Back then, Alonzo had been laughing and drinking wine with him like old friends. They'd even opened a bottle of expensive vintage wine together. This time, Alonzo didn't hide anything. He openly admitted that after lunch with his bosses, they suddenly needed money fast for their mistresses and luxury lifestyles. Then he ordered the team to start cutting into the floorboards. Before long, they uncovered a safe packed with $5 million in cash. As payment for the operation, every team member received $250,000, including Jake.
LAPD on him, right?
Alonzo assumed Jake was just pretending to act righteous, but after questioning him again and again, Jake still refused to take the money. Left with no choice, Alonzo put the cash away himself, then casually told Jake to shoot Roger dead on the couch. Jake thought he was joking at first, but when he saw the other officers closing the blinds, he finally realized how serious this really was.
Shoot him.
No, man.
Seeing Jake refuse to cooperate while he was running out of time to deliver the ransom money, Alonzo pulled the trigger himself.
Holy shit!
Roger quickly stopped breathing. Then the group immediately began rehearsing their story, claiming they arrived to search Roger's house and were met with violent resistance. According to the fabricated report, a gunfight broke out during the operation. To make the story more believable, one of the officers even shot himself. After finalizing the story, they officially reported the incident back to the department. And the hero who supposedly killed Roger, they pinned that title directly on Jake.
Congratulations, son. You're gonna get a Medal of Valor for this.
I didn't shoot him.
Room full of cops said you did.
But I didn't. You did.
The second Alonzo heard the report, he instantly switched sides and claimed that Officer Jake had died heroically in the line of duty. As he spoke, he slowly pointed his gun at Jake. But what Alonzo didn't expect was that Jake's combat skills were no joke. In the blink of an eye, Jake had him pinned to the ground. Even then, Jake couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger. The second he did, he'd become a cop who murdered another officer. Only after hearing police sirens outside did he finally lower the gun and walk away. Outside, Jake hesitated over how to report everything to his superiors. After all, he was the only one who never took the money. Alonzo wasn't stupid either. He kept trying to test Jake and see whether he'd stay quiet.
It behooves you not to dick around.
Oh, wait, we had badges? So it's different?
When Jake refused to bend no matter what, Alonzo came up with another plan. Under the excuse of visiting an informant's family, he lured Jake straight into a gang hideout, intending to have him killed there. By the time Jake realized what was happening, it was already too late. He was dragged straight into a bathroom. At the critical moment, one of the gangsters searched him and accidentally found a red wallet. Inside was a photo of the gang leader's sister.
Listen to me. That girl is being raped. All right, I saw these two fucking drug addicts.
As the saying goes, a dying man speaks honestly. The gang leader immediately called his sister to verify Jake's story. After getting confirmation, he finally changed his mind and decided to spare Jake's life. From that moment on, Jake made up his mind to take Alonzo down completely and remove him from the police force for good. When Jake arrived at Alonzo's house, the first thing he did was hide the children inside a closet to keep them safe if a shootout broke out. At that moment, Alonzo was preparing to deliver the ransom money. Neither man wasted time talking. The second they saw each other, the gunfight began. But Alonzo didn't actually want a prolonged battle. He desperately needed to get downtown and pay off the mafia. Jake realized that and fought with everything he had to stop him from leaving. During the struggle, Jake managed to take control of the ransom money and gain control of the situation. Without the cash, Alonzo had nowhere to go. Even after getting dragged outside, he still tried to fight back.
Oh! Get! Ah, you motherfucker!
Then he switched tactics completely, shamelessly provoking Jake by saying, "Go ahead, shoot a cop." But Jake didn't hesitate. Instead of shooting him, he ripped the badge straight off Alonzo's chest.
You don't deserve this.
The gang members realized Alonzo was finished, while Jake still couldn't bring himself to kill him. So one of them stepped forward to calm the situation down, telling Jake to leave with the evidence money while they handled the rest. Later that night, Alonzo drove into the city to meet the mafia. He still thought he could talk his way out of it, but the woman collecting the money didn't even bother listening. The moment she realized he didn't have the cash, she ordered her men to block every exit and open fire. And just like that, the cancer inside the police department finally met his end.